Lots of issues, obviously, for Manchester United. Maybe one small issue coming out of this game for Liverpool, or Mo Salah's comments after the match, where he mentioned it might have been his last game at Old Trafford, a venue he's obviously lit up as well as he did today. Luis, just how good was Mo Salah, and how much do they need to keep this guy around?
Yes, we should think about how we can find a way of having a new contract. But well, he made I think a statement very early on the season. But in the end, it's the feeling of the player. As soon as he continued performing the way that he performed today, he was sharp. He looks clinical. I think that's something he started very well, a lot better than he started last year, and maybe because he wants to continue here in Liverpool side, and that's why he mentioned this today. But yeah, of course, I think he's a player who makes a difference. He's a player who in the last, I cannot even remember the year that he started, it scores 25 plus goals every single season, and that's very, very difficult to find all around. I'm not saying in England, but in Spain, in Europe, anywhere. On these days where strikers are missing, you cannot find this kind of players. I think that the Liverpool should think about how to keep Mo Salah for more years, even though that he's arriving to that age that you have to be very careful. And Craig mentioned with Casemiro that he's only 32, but he's still 3 more years at Manchester United. I think with Mo Salah, you need to talk to him and see how he feels. But if he wants to stay in the club and the club wants him to stay, as soon as they seal that deal, I think the better for the player, for the club, and I'm sure that for all the supporters that today watch the game.
You see the numbers on that full screen. In terms of the all-time Premier League greats, where does he rank? Is he in that elite category?
I would imagine so. I mean, off the top of my head, who are we talking about? You know, Cantona, Shearer, Henry. I mean, I don't want to miss people out. Harry Kane would be in there, I suppose. And there's probably others. I've already forgot a manager's name.
Drogba.
Drogba. Oh, yeah, he's
It's
Chelsea.
Chelsea, man.
He's a Chelsea. I've already forgot Louis van Gaal's name today. I'm probably missing out a lot, but it's not important. What is important here is, as Luis mentioned, is the consistency. But I think a way to sum up for me is Mo Salah. He does the difficult things brilliantly, and sometimes the simple things poorly. And so he can be frustrating, but more often than not, he produces moments like this. As Stevie said, most players would have gone back across the goalkeeper, but that was just a brilliant finish, and his performance was very good, as was Luis Diaz on the other side. And I think the balance of that front three at the moment with the I think the effervescent Diogo Jota, who just must be, as a centre half, a freaking nightmare, because he's not the biggest, he's not the quickest, and he's not the strongest, but he's just physical. He gets physically involved, he links play up, he scores his goals, his movement's great. And I think that balance at the moment with Diaz, Salah, Jota, and then the midfield, particularly Szoboszlai supporting with McAllister and Gravenberch, he's certainly stumbled on this formation, and he stumbled on this personnel. And if you'd have said at the start of the season, Gravenberch, holding midfielder, doing a bit of everything, playing great, he would have said, no chance.
When I saw the team sheet for Ipswich and Gravenberch was in it, I'm not ashamed to say it, I went, oh, why is Gravenberch playing? I'll tell you what, talk about eating your words. I mean, he's got to be, so far, the surprise of the season. I mean, the way to go to Old Trafford. Now, for anybody that doesn't know about Man United against Liverpool and going to Old Trafford or going to Anfield, it is the toughest thing you can do as a football player, to be able to go to that sort of arena and perform and be at your best and look comfortable. And Gravenberch today was just, he looked as though he'd been in that Liverpool team for a couple of years. He just looked as though that was his spot. He was in the right position. I don't remember him tackling anybody, but he broke things up because he used his brain. He was in the right spot, and he read the game well. I mean, he absolutely is the find. As great as Salah is and was today, I think the fact that we're looking at this Liverpool side and thinking that three in the middle is absolute dynamite. It's got absolutely everything in it. And I can assure you, I wasn't saying that at the start of the season when I saw Gravenberch's name.
Frank, what impressed you the most about Liverpool?
I would say Arne Slot. And the guy took charge of a team and carry on what Jurgen Klopp was doing, making the team playing in another way, but still using what the bigger thing is from Liverpool is the spirit and the way that the players, they want to sacrifice for each other. We don't have any problem with Trent Alexander-Arnold anymore because we found back the Anderson we had with Gravenberch. And everybody works so much and works his socks off for the others that you don't have any weaknesses anymore. And the spirit is good, the players are fantastic. Don't forget that I put Liverpool finishing champion of England. So it's not a surprise for me, I would say, but it's still a little bit because I wouldn't expect them to be that good. I mean, in counter-attack, even on keeping the ball at some point where they were more straightforward before under Klopp. But what a team, what a squad, because when some others come on, it's fantastic. And defensively, they're stronger than before. And Alisson, don't forget Alisson, he made some good saves today on Zirkzee, for example, twice. So the unit is perfect. Right now, everything's perfect.
Frank picked Liverpool, did you?
No.
No? Shame. Do you wish you had now?
No. Listen, we're three games in, and it's been a fantastic start. But unfortunately, there's another 35 to go. So yeah, but everything Frank said, I agree with. They look good going forward. I'm hoping that Arne Slot is the type of coach that is not going around patting everybody in the back, but is going around talking about how do we avoid giving the 2 chances away that we did, and how can we be more clinical going forward? Because yes, we scored 3 at Old Trafford, but we should have scored more.
He's done a post-game interview, and at halftime he said that he told the guys that weren't tracking back in the first half,
right.
But he didn't like it. But obviously straightened it out.
Yeah, but sometimes the best teams, that's how they look at it. They don't go around slapping everybody in the back saying, "Well done, you were fantastic today, beautiful goal." It's no. We need to be more clinical. We need to be better in the final third. And defensively, we might have won 3-0 or 6-0 or whatever it is, but we need to figure out how we gave those 2 chances away. That's how you win titles. Those little things. And actually, the best time to do those little conversations is when you've just won. That's the best time to do it.
So Frank picked Liverpool. Stevie didn't pick Liverpool. Luis did pick Liverpool, so we'll give him credit for that. I'm sure he's feeling very good about that pick. Also, Luis, just your thoughts on the conversation that seems to be coming up right now. A lot of people, both inside the team and outside the team, are talking about all the differences they see between Arne Slot's Liverpool and Jurgen Klopp's Liverpool. What differences do you see?
Not many. I don't think that there are many difference. I think that if you pick some small moments, or maybe because of the players they are involved, the shapes have changed a little bit more. Now there is not only a one holding midfielder, there are 2 that help each other going forward another. And now you can have a second striker to help in transition. We saw the goal of the 3rd goal of Mo Salah. So you can see that before you had the number 9, that there was no one into the middle. So the passes should be more wider or longer. Now you can have that connection, that link up between the midfielders and the second striker before to arrive to the strikers. So I think that the intensity is there, the energy is there, the movements more or less are the same. I like what he is doing with the rotation of the fullbacks and players up front. I think it's very important, even though the people right now doesn't understand why Arnold is changing, or when Robertson is changing. I think he's starting. He knows that the season is going to be very long, that these players need to have their rest at some point. And I think it's important and that. But after that, I think that the team looks very similar of the best of Jurgen Klopp back then. Today, I like very much that intensity in the middle of the park. I think it was needed in transition. Liverpool needed those kind of physical players that they have now right now. Szoboszlai, I think he's got that ability to have a box-to-box. He can assist, he can score goals, and he's always a threat. And I think that what McAllister and Gravenberch are doing is just amazing. That physical presence into the midfield, and also the ability to have the ball is beautiful. So yeah, I don't see much differences. I see more similarities than differences, to be honest.
He's definitely gone a little old school with the fullbacks. You know, there's no question that Alexander Arnold is the fullback who's going to be further forward. But Robertson isn't standing on the... Or Robertson used to be standing past the halfway line, home or away. That is not happening. You know, when we played, fullback's job was if one's gone, the other one stays. And that seems to be what he's doing.
Do you like it?
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. It makes them better?
It absolutely makes them better. Defensively, behind the ball, 100%. You know, the last 18 months, 2 seasons, anybody and everybody, whether it was at Anfield or away from home, were getting at Liverpool and finding gaps. And Alisson was having to make saves. Now, yes, he had a couple of saves today, but the majority of the time, you had Konate, you had Van Dijk, and you had Robertson. Plus, obviously, the ones in front, sitting in front of the 3 of them. When Trent Alexander went forward. That's old school. One goes, one stays.
When you had both fullbacks pushing on, and then maybe you just had McAllister, or last year maybe Endo at times, and everybody else was going pressing the ball in that frantic way. And if you played around that, you had one holding midfielder and 2 centre-halves, and everybody else had bombed on. Now, when it worked, and Liverpool won it back, the crowd were on their feet, and it was great. But when teams were able to play around them, then that's when they were open. It's a little bit more composed. Yep. As you say, one full-back going, then leave it as a 3, Gravenberch and McAllister, then you still have 4 pressing. And that, if another team breaks you down, is still giving you good numbers behind the ball. But it's not taken away from anything Liverpool are doing going forward. No. Because when they win it back, they're then still getting bodies forward quickly. So the attacking play is, I'm going to say, kind of similar. Defensively, though, very subtle, but he's just making sure they're a little bit more solid in case, A, they lose the ball, or B, a team are able to play through the press. 3 games in, first 2 expected to win. This was the big litmus test. All right, it's not a strong United side, but it's the big game in England. It has been for years. And he's gone to Old Trafford and shown the Liverpool fans that he can make his team play against United at Old Trafford in the same way that Jurgen Klopp was able to do. For a new manager, that has to be a real feather in his cap.